Hey y'all, before we get into the episode, I wanted to tell you about our good friend Kristen's teacher owned home bakery located in Grant Park, Atlanta. Grade A goodies. Kristen, the owner, specializes in deliciously decorated sugar cookies featuring all kinds of custom designs and colors. If you are looking for beautiful and tasty sugar cookies for your upcoming holiday gatherings or other events, you can find her at Grade A Goodies Atlanta on both Instagram and Facebook. We've enjoyed the beauty and taste of Grade A goodies on several of occasions, and Kristen never disappoints. Be sure to check her out. Now let's get into this week's episode. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sum It Up with the Sumners. It is us, Damon and Katoya.
That's it.
And we are happy to be here. We are so glad that you are rocking with us for yet another episode. And this one is amazingly helpful, I think. I hope it will be. We are talking about planning and reflection. Kind of looking back at the year and just saying, how'd it go? What's going on with it? Did we like it? How were we? What happened? And we all know, if you listen to this currently, yes, it is 2020. But we want to definitely reflect on ourselves and growth and pros and grows. So talking a little bit more about that and digging right into it. Before we start,
as always, we want to support or give a shout out for all of the support. You guys have been so gracious to us. We appreciate that. People are jumping into the private Facebook group. Check that out in the show notes if you're not. Instagram, Facebook. We're doing videos, full episodes on YouTube. Subscribe to that. We would love for you to jump on that channel as well. Of course, everybody jumping on the bandwagon with Patreon, Patreon, for the bonus episodes and exclusive content. And of course, definitely the reviewing is going down on Apple. We got another one this week here for you.
We do. And this one comes to you from Old Bruce.
Old Brewski.
Brooksy.
Brooksy.
Old Brooksy.
All right.
And Brooksy says, I love this podcast and rates it at 5 stars.
Come on now.
What a gem. Damon and Katoya are funny, smart, and so relatable. Highly recommend. #couple goals. I feel like people must have read other people.
Brooksy, appreciate you.
Posts and kept saying couple goals.
I'll take it.
We will take it. We appreciate it. Listen, we just out here being Damon and Katoya.
That's it. That's all we can be.
That's all we can be. Same old me. Anyway, just us. Just trying to be the same us. So we appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. And anyone else who wants to drop some feedback for everyone to see, we are very happy and welcome that 100%. Give us a like and a follow on Spotify. All that good stuff. So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
All right. So planning and reflection. Why don't you start us off with that?
Sure. So this is something that we've done, and hopefully it brings again some. Maybe you already been doing it here. Maybe it's a new idea here. Yeah. But we like to, at the end of the year, kind of find some time to plan, get ready for the next year, right? But then also, before we really kind of dig into there, we got to reverse and start with some reflection. And so we've been, 2020 now. We've been going, for 15 years, 12 years married. I gave it to you early this time. But you got to give it to them too. That's it.
I'm not going to give it to them. I think they know.
Everybody don't know.
Some people think it's that first time. Listen, why do you think that? I don't know. I just feel like the same old people I know.
You just jumped into a show that has 8 seasons and came out 5 years ago.
That's true.
That ain't how it worked. Anyway, what I'm saying is that this is something that we've done. We found to be very helpful. And so, we want to share with y'all. And let us know if you've done it before. Let us know if you've never really done it. And
if you have any tips or feedback that you that's really helpful for you in your relationship. But, it puts you on the same page and it helps you kind of forecast and cast ahead of, kind of where you want to be and being on the same page as a couple.
Yeah, so definitely it's beneficial. It's going to put you on the same page or hopefully put you in the direction of going to be on the same page here. It's also a time to, like, the why, right? Why is always important. Like, why do it? Why try this out? Why keep doing it? It's going to continue to just build that communication with you and your boo, right? So that's off top right there. And then also it's just going to be helpful because so much happens every year. Like so, literally so much, so many highs, so many lows, triumphs, hurdles, and 2020 been crazy. We know 2020 been crazy, but if we reflect, if we slow down, if we pause for a second, hopefully you're able to find some silver lining. You're able to look and say, oh no, there were some joys, there were some moments of winning and smiles and good times to be had.
Yep.
So those are just a few reasons why it can definitely be a time to be beneficial for you.
It's true, and it also kind of puts in, there's something like putting things in writing, right? Like, the start of you at 2020 to the end of you now is probably changed, different, new ideas, new possibilities, things that just fell in your lap, things that you actually planned for, but to really put those side by side and see the growth. And then, depending on who you are, maybe you're an extremely optimistic person. You're like, oh, it's been good. And you're like, oh, wait, actually, I didn't do this. Or you could be a more maybe a little bit more pessimistic and like, oh, this year went bad or blah, blah, blah. But then you look, you say, oh, actually, no, I can see these things that actually went well. So, we all know, hopefully, you all know that journaling and putting your thoughts down and writing is definitely just a good base to check back in. It's just like, when you're doing before and after pictures, people are like, oh, I ain't losing no weight. Oh, I ain't making no progress. You take a picture of yourself and you can really see it maybe more than your scale is showing it or maybe more than you feel it because pictures are proof. And so in this case, what I'm saying is writing it down is proof to see kind of where it is, where you're going and what you've accomplished or not.
Yeah. If you're putting the effort to be the best couple y'all can be, you're probably going to be stronger and better probably by the end of this year than you were at the beginning. It may not feel like it. You may have just, if you listen to this, you may just got into a big old spat, whatever the case may be. But if you look back in the grand scheme of things, which is why this time here is really important, so much has transpired in this year. These are just kind of moments and pockets of time to be like, you know what? This is a great moment for us. Because self-awareness, Katoya, she's fantastic at self-awareness here. I think she does a great job with just being self-aware about her strengths, areas that she wants to continue to get better in, for us as a couple, individually, things like the other. And so as a couple, it's also important for us to come together as a team and be like, listen, 2020 was whatever it was, and we want to continue to move forward in the next year. Like wherever you are, if you're in a low, if you're in a valley right now, and you're like, listen, we can't just start in the valley in 2021, not the valley. Right. I'm not a valley girl.
At least if we in the valley, we coming up with a plan to get up out of here.
Facts, definitely.
Where the
road? So that's a little bit of the why. Now the what, right? We're just gonna jump right into some practicality.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is the type of episode that it's gonna kind of be is like, what does it look like? In the past, what we've done. This is kind of the big picture of how we've done it. We always are, hey, if you got kids, those kids are gone. Those kids are poof for a few hours, for a few days, if you can make that happen. Don't still as much time as you can. And so we send those kids wherever they go. I don't even know. They just go places because we just send them. We are pro sending of children. So you're gonna send your kids away so you can have as limited amount of distractions as possible, right? And
or if you can't send them away, just doing a chunk of time when they might be asleep.
Yes,
so if it needs to be nighttime for you or early morning, or a lunch date,
whenever, absolutely, because that's very true, very true. And so you send kids away. If you don't have kids, fantastic. We send the dogs outside, whatever the case may be. And you really just have a time to devote. Everybody's coming on the same page. Like, we're devoting whatever chunk amount of time you feel is sufficient. We're coming in with a couple hours. We're coming in, going to start with an hour. We're going to plan for the day. Whatever the case may be. Uninterrupted time. Put that phone over there, right? Turn that TV off and really kind of have a space that's quiet and focused in to have some good, healthy dialogue about, reflecting and moving forward in the year.
Right. So if you've done it before, the best way is to kind of look at what you already set for this year, to your 2020 goals and where you want it to be, and then to discuss the past, and then you can then begin to plan for the future. So again, like I said, write it out, type it out, share a note, share a Google Doc, whatever it is, kind of outline it and put it down so that you all can have some really good dialogue around it. It just helps to be, again, on the same page, and kind of setting the trajectory out for the next year.
There's something real humbling about looking at a goal list from the beginning of the year and realize you ain't hit that goal at all. Like you Matt, so much so you forgot about the goal. You was like, dang, that was.
Yeah, we got some tips about that too.
We want to.
Did we do that? Well, and don't you dare be like, well, 2020. You can't blame all your non-goals that didn't happen on 2020. I mean, it's a high possibility they were strongly affected. But, how'd you pivot? Because I think we realized in 2020 for sure there's a lot of pivoting. Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe you didn't do it this way, but you did come up with this new avenue that kind of still fits it within that, Gosh, I'm talking about this, and I do mean this in a relationship, but I am thinking about this in a personal way. But you can always, me and Damon, we set our own personal individual sheets of reflections and goals. And then we also have things that we set our goals for collectively as a couple or as a family even. And let's dig into kind of more of what that looks like. The first thing starts with reflection. And so our recommendation or suggestion would be that you first just do it independently. That it's your own activity that you reflect in and coming up with like an assessment from last year and then saying, you know what, but these are some areas I really think I want to bring to the table for us for next year to do better in. And then you come together because you've both done your individual work and then you have that communication and dialogue. Yeah.
And just this is your partner. So just be honest and just know this is a safe space to be able to communicate, to be, to have healthy dialogue, to be vulnerable, because at the end of the day, we on the same team. Yeah. We both are trying to come together and be great together as a couple. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you are. And I don't even, look at that. You took it back. Okay. I see y'all here. And so you're going to get at least one of those. You're going to get me saying 15 years and you're going to get at least one song tune.
That's real true.
Boom.
I can't even knock that. I can't even knock you saying that no more because I know that is so true about me. Sorry if you don't like my singing because we're going to keep happening.
So you come in and just know that this is a space for both of us to be honest because we're trying to make the best of this as a couple, as in a relationship. And so that's off top right there. So you're going to come in with that. We're going to have the reflection. Right. We're going to feel a safe space. Boom, the distractions are out the way here. And then you're going to get a chance to really kind of reflect. You're going to get a chance to kind of really look back and say, whoa, like this year has had these ups and these downs. And then you'll get into now kind of processing through that. Because sometimes, stuff will happen just in a year, pandemic or not, and it won't be closure sometimes. Sometimes it's still kind of this open conversation. Yeah. Sometimes there still needs to be a decision made about, about whatever the case may be. So even in those moments when you're reflecting, that could lead to a kind of this pivoted conversation, like the sidebar that needs to be had. Maybe sometimes in a timely manner or just in general, right? Just for the health of your marriage. So,
right. Health, marriage, relationship, everybody can set those goals. So I'm thinking oh gosh, I just lost my train, y'all. I'm sorry, train of thought.
It happens sometimes with them. Hop back on that bandwagon out here. That's it. It's almost dinner time for us.
It's something like it. Go ahead, Damon.
No, so another thing when you talk about the reflection is just, right, pros and pros, right? Old school, fifth grade out here in these streets, right? Mm-hmm. So you're just kind of, going through, we're being just real kind of basic here. Things that just went well, right? It's like, oh, okay, these are 5 things that we did well. We had a date night every week. We were able to hang out with a couple once a month and just build off of each other.
I'm going to interrupt you because I think it's going to provide a little clarity. You have to first assess the topics.
Yes.
Right? So there's big key points. Mm-hmm. You can think of them right now. It might be how y'all are financially. Mm-hmm. If you, intimacy is one. Were you doing it as much as you wanted to?
Roles. Well, you're doing it as much as...
Doing it right. Is it right or well?
It's well.
Okay. But anyway, so was in it not even just sexual, right? Like sexual intimacy, but like, did you, your goals are what you want. Maybe it's we want to kiss more, right? Or, then it's like dating, like it's relationship, and you chunk these out in some most practical ways of fleshing that out. But I'm giving these examples to say it could be that simple. You realize you don't kiss that much. All right, we want to do a little bit more of that. We might want to engage in sexual activity more because that's a little bit low. Our relationship to others. So we break them down, us, and then what it looks like to others. So, well, did we get good time in with other people?
All those friendships, right? Things of
yeah,
that nature.
like in couple, really, did we do date night? So these categories,
money, right? Roles, any and all categories
intimacy,
that impact you, right? Conflict. That's a big one right there.
Right.
For sure.
So you might just want to assess how you are spiritual, like whatever categories mattered most to you, and then bullet out some of the things that you'd like to have more of, see more of. But then also, when you do that reflection before you go to your goals, check and be proud of the ones that you were able to see improvement in. Because it's not like yes, got it right. It's we progress.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that in one of the last episodes about big up yourself.
Yeah.
Big up yourself now, okay? Don't put no lil in front of your positivity. All right, we have continued to put effort, right? Put in the work to make this relationship great.
Right.
Feel good about that. Celebrate yourself individually, collectively. Because when you're doing these pros and grows, because you broke it down into categories, whatever, it's a time to celebrate.
Right.
Listen, we was out here busting heads every other weekend. Now we only get into a spat once a month.
It's true,
You know what I mean?
All that to say that they could be as lofty or as
specific,
practical and specific as you need them to be. But you want to have these kind of larger categories in order to kind of assess and track your goals plus your communication.
All right, before we keep moving on, of course, we got to shout out our sponsor for this week's episode, Cultivate Real Estate.
Whoop, whoop.
Yes, the wonderful Erin and her crew back again here. We appreciate you, Cultivate. Listen, long story short, you know what it is. If you're here looking for home ownership questions to get answered, if you're looking to buy a house, trying to rent, any of that, you're trying to take a class, you want some more information on the whole world, check out Cultivate Real Estate for your home ownership needs.
Absolutely. As we're talking about planning and goals, maybe this is the next step for you. So why not talk to trusted professionals and realtors who are looking to help you? So check out Cultivate Real Estate on Instagram. Slide in them DMs. Ask the questions. See what you need to do so they can help propel you to what's coming up next, to your next year. Maybe 2021 is a year for your new home or to sell what you currently have, to find a new home, whatever you need. They can point you in the right direction. So check them out.
All right, so let's keep going here. So dig it in. So once you kind of had that time to reflect, right, and you've kind of went through pros and goals, you kind of broke down different categories, and you've kind of put your year, right, the past year on paper. You kind of look at it. You had dialogue about it. You got to look forward. You got to look ahead. You got to push on towards a new year. And let's just say this. Let's be honest. I know a lot of you probably already know this, but just because that calendar changed, just because that clock strikes midnight,
2021.
Put your mask on.
It's like somebody be like, "Happy birthday, how you feel?" The same.
My knees still hurt. I'm still. That's it. Ain't that?
I just woke up. I'm excited to see a new year.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, but it's just a new year, right?
The flaws don't just run away.
Right.
The struggles don't just disappear.
Right.
There's still more work to put in, which is exciting, because if you want to make it work, if you want to have a thriving, fighting marriage and relationship like all of us more than likely want to do, then you're committed, right? And so the goals in this conversation, in this, and also just a side note, if you need to have more than one of these like meetings and plan times, then please do that. You don't just got to sit for 3 hours and get into a tense conversation. Like, no, damn it, Victoria said we got to get this done now.
First of all, don't be doing that. Second of all, I am that person. I'll be like, all right, I hit my max.
She'll max out.
Can we postpone this to another time? This
perfectly fine.
Overload. Yeah. Damon's like, come on.
It's hour 7. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, no. So yeah, you can space it out how you need, especially one, if you've never done it, or two, if you just even taking the reflection to be one part, and then the goals for next. So you can sit down. You have to think about it sometimes and process through. So there's no rush, but definitely take the time. And we're doing this intentionally now before the new year.
Yes.
So I do think it's important to set it up. Again, yes. Granted, we've done it in January, late January, whatever. Things happen. But wanting to put that out there in case you're not doing that. And I truly do believe that this can happen at any point in any relationship, and I believe it should. So whether it's a dating relationship, a engaged, whatever, this is the person that we talked about that you're choosing to be with. So you choose to make a plan. And if that's foreign for one party, just be open, be open to something different, and be available and vulnerable, because I think that's really where it starts, because setting goals and taking full assessments can be challenging. I am the person who doesn't like that in our marriage. I'm like, oh, here it is, money, how we do, whatever. Like I come to the table not excited about most things like this. I already told you I'm a day-to-day type of thing, so that projection gets a little overwhelming. But again, there's balance. So lean on each other's strengths in this time, and be patient to the person's weaknesses or their growths in this process, because it can be a little sensitive. I think anytime you're goal casting, and being vulnerable about where you are, where you want to be, what y'all did do, what you didn't do,
Yeah, no, it's real, because when you talk about goals, you're talking about things that you may not be great at. You know what I mean? And that's always a touchy feely thing right there up top.
Yeah, or someone who's like got those big goals.
Yeah, big goals.
Yeah, you're one of them. He's like, why can't we? And I'm like, what?
Yes,
just 50. I don't know, whatever. But that can be. It just depends. Your spouse. Your person. So you figure that out, how to ease into it. I interrupted you.
No, it's good. I was saying, just essentially, goals are something I feel like in relationships, and I could be 100% wrong. I'll speak for myself here, but I know I didn't grow up with, and I don't personally hear a lot of chit chat about couples making goals holistically for their relationship. I may hear, hey, we're trying to buy a house this year, we're trying to start a family this year with children specifically here, whatever the case may be. But like when you're talking about these things, okay, we want to do these things to better our relationship, it's something I don't hear personally about a lot, and I think we should do more of as a community, as a culture, as a people, right? It kind of makes me think about, I thought about this here. You ever thought about the fact that you never really plan and think about a fire drill except at school? It's just like, it was just the only time, like growing up, if a fire happened in my house growing up,
you just had to do what you did at school.
like
find an exit, stop, drop, roll, in my house.
But it's just things like that. It was like, we don't really talk about this in that context. And it's like, all right, I got SMART goals at work, and then I've got fitness goals, and we kind of get specific about things. But when it's your relationship, sometimes you can just be like, we trying to make it work. We two people, man. We love each other, man. We just gonna Netflix and chill. We gonna figure it out. We gonna make the best of it, man.
We on the same page. We talk about it.
Yeah, she know my heart. You know what I'm saying? I love him.
My heart.
I love him.
Good you don't love me. I think I love him.
So
sorry if you don't know that.
That's sorry about that. But anyway, all that to say, when you're talking about goals, I think it is important to keep in context that with anything that you want to make work, anything that you want to be great, it's going to take work, and goal setting is, I think, we feel, helpful and healthy to make the most of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We've been trying to think about what kind of merch we would have. We have merch, and I can't think of anything other than communication. I don't know how to make that cool. If you got any ideas on how you would want to walk around a shirt about communication, but there's nothing more we could preach. I don't know if I've said this already on the podcast before, but there are moments I talked to a good friend. I was like, oh my gosh, do y'all just have conversation a lot? I feel like me and them always got to talk about something.
Always having meetings.
Oh gosh, it's so annoying, but it's so helpful. And you guys probably don't know this, because contrary to my belief, all of us are not close friends. So thank you for listening. But we've always only had one car, literally. And so for those 15 years he's been talking about. And like sporadically, maybe we borrowed one person's car. I don't know, but we have. So but with a growing family, and having a family of five, we have and two different jobs and things like that. We have to be on the same page. So we have to have communication. We share a calendar. I mean, these are other tidbits for another episode, I think. But ultimately, like communicate everything. Sit and have these conversations. Sit and go plan. Don't make it taboo to have tough conversations. And not to be like, this is so tough, but it is a vulnerable thing and it's an assessment. Like, who wants, self evaluation can be heavy.
Can be heavy.
Yeah, now it's not even self, it's together.
Yeah. And we're talking about the person who's got your heartstrings the closest. So that always get a little,
I would like for you to come to bed by 10, but I got to work, so I don't even want it. Honestly, that would kind of be us in some ways, because I'm like, dude, I go to sleep at 10, so you don't have to do everything.
Baby girl, you go to sleep at 8.
If I want to, okay? I'm tired, so we've had, and that is a real practical thing. Like for us, like,
yes.
How do we cultivate more time together with kind of different sleep patterns and habits?
We've had a lot of goals. We've had a lot of goals that we've accomplished. We've had a lot of goals that we have not accomplished. They're still just like,
ooh. All right, maybe we'll hit that next
year. One day. 2023, we're going to get there.
I think one of our goals that like has just never achieved its possibilities is like reading things together. Like some type of book.
Yeah.
I'm not the best reader. I am a fantastic reader. If anyone would like for me to read for them, that would be great. But for my own pleasure.
Leisure reading.
It's just really not. Oh, and then this isn't even leisure. This is like, I mean, it's either going to be something spiritual to help our growth with our walk with the Lord and together, which means that's a little heavy, right? And or, some line of self-help. And that's not.
It's not that young adult fiction she be
on.
Yeah,
give me a little entertainment. Yes. And those are not entertaining. And they require work, which I'm not afraid of work. I just, you have to be in the right space for
You do
work.
have the right space.
Which is why I'm approaching this conversation with so much like, hey, be sensitive, be vulnerable. Right. But maybe it's easy for you. And if it is easy, amen to that. Do you, but have the conversation. But I have had the dialogue with some people, and it's just like, like, my guy doesn't know anything about this and doesn't really want to have this conversation. We always say it's about timing. So try to just, hey, I think it would be good for us to do this. And sometimes if it's not a strong suit for someone else, you just lead out in it. Of course you want them to. Of course you want them to do it. But they might not be there yet. So lead out in this and then let them give their input as you
start small.
Yeah.
Maybe y'all just try to come together and come up with one goal for the month.
Yeah.
Boom. Just like, hey, babe, what's one thing you would like for us to do with this? Or, whatever the case may be, in money. Just pick a category.
Yep.
And you just have one goal.
Right. Or your conversation is, hey, each month I'd like for us to decide one thing we want to do. Boom. And then they're like, oh, okay, I can expect this for each month. And
work
then let's
those
just
muscles.
try it.
Yeah.
30 days. You got one you want to try for us? Well, let's try this. All right, let's see if it's attainable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. And so when you're talking about goals here, right, so you can break it down in different categories. You can start small. But another one that's really important is, and we're kind of hitting a little bit here, not the writing it down, but also like just keeping it before you, like physically, if possible. Like
visually.
Like visually. So it could be something as little as you and the boo, you know what I'm saying? The wife, she's got 12 sticky notes on the bathroom mirror, and you just see them. Maybe she's got a cool little cork board in the hallway, or you're crazy cool. Right. You got a collage vision board in the bedroom, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe the husband, he's built up something nice and neat, you know what I'm saying? That's got wood pallets. I don't know. I've seen a lot of HGTV. What I'm trying to tell you is...
Maybe it's just a PDF document that y'all check in with every 3 months. Boom. I don't know.
Who knows?
I would like to say that we do typical, like, we don't always take out our goals every 3 months. We definitely do check-ins, right? And just how are we going? What are we doing?
Right.
And I would definitely suggest that, like, quarterly. But a really great thing would be to pull out those goals in that quarterly moment so that you can double check that, right? Like, I mean, because, once the people hit July, they're like, all day. Woo, we have our, was it June, whatever. We're halfway in, right? Yeah. And you're like, uh-oh, year's almost over. Got to try to do some of those things I said I was going to do in January.
Yeah.
Well, if you're tracking along or you have it visually to be seen, then it's more in your face. It's more accountability.
Out of sight, out of mind for a lot of times
that's a
here.
real true
Physical
saying.
goals, money goals, kid goals, parenting, whatever the goals may be. If you're not thinking about it, if you're not looking at it, it's easy for us as people just to kind of just life gets busy. You get moving, you're commuting. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom.
It's real.
And it's just like, whew, I forgot. What were we trying to do this year?
I don't even
Just
know.
make it, baby. We just trying to make it. You know what I'm saying?
That's so true. I don't know. Let's just get to the end of
Just
it.
make it and
Yeah,
see what
you don't
happens.
want to be in the valley like that too deep if you don't have to. And a lot of that is communication and planning.
So try to figure out a way to just kind of keep it visualized. You know, I think we maybe have said in the past too how we like to do weekly by weekly just check-ins.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a small thing you could weave in if you're doing any of those things as well.
Right.
So I think the last thing is that we're excited about. This is our first time going to try this out, right? Is that we want to share with you all a very simple freebie, which is basically just a little PDF download, just a little sheet that could be helpful for you to do this reflection, to do this goal setting here. And so you'll be able to, find this little freebie, this little PDF download on our Facebook and our Instagram and like our bio section where it's like, hey, here's our little link tree. You can find it there. You throw the email in, boom, we'll send it to you, all that jazz. I don't know what she's doing. You can't see what she's doing if you're not looking.
I put a thumbs down. He said little twice. First of all, nothing is.
Is that what I said?
Yes, you said little
Golly.
twice. I know.
I said little?
You littled your own stuff.
Did I?
Don't do
Oh,
that.
I gotta go put myself.
I mean, it's not grand, but that we don't need to say it's little.
Are you joking me? I'm gonna listen back to this.
I hope you do. So therefore, yes, agreed. Get it.
We
If
got
you
a
need-
big PDF. we got a huge freebie for you. This is crazy. Bells, there's whistles, there's confetti coming there.
Oh,
You're
man.
like, woo!
Winner. I mean, not all of that, but just if you need some help starting, right? There's tons of resources out there, but we definitely just wanted to provide one for you. So hopefully it can be useful. If it is, then let us know.
Let us know.
Oh, gosh, this one-way conversation we all keep happening. Please get in that Facebook group. Let us know something. Hit us up on Instagram, but just let us know, hey, you know what? We had never done that, and we did, and we thought it was really helpful. Thank y'all. Like, stuff like that is...
Side note, somebody said, in just a general conversation, like, hey, damn, I don't have social media. So if we haven't said it in a while, sum it up, Sumners, like addition, sum it up, Sumners, plural, @gmail.com. She's like, I ain't really on the gram or Facebook. That's perfectly fine. You can also email us about whatever as well. So sum it up, Sumners @gmail.com. But we got this big freebie that's hopefully helpful to do some reflection, to do some goal setting as 2020 winds down and you rev up for 2021.
Man,
Ooh.
and post 2021, it got all the pressure.
All the pressure. Like literally
Be better.
It's
2021.
2021 is the rebound guy. Like it's just like I just been out of a hard relationship.
And I just let loose in 2021. So don't let too loose, but like that's why you need to put some goals around it because it got a lot of bank.
A lot of bank.
But the way we look in it don't look better. So I guess we'll see. Don't put too much bank on it. Again, remember the way you pivoted this year and consider that in those goals too because we might still be pivoting a little bit. But we got this. Y'all got this.
Set
those goals.
Set them.
Yeah.
Big stuff out here. As always, keep checking us out. I gotta just say big now. Check us out, man, as well. Follow, subscribe, YouTube for those full videos. Instagram, Facebook. That private Facebook group is going down. Don't miss out on that. Bonus episodes, Patreon. You know what it is. And please keep rating and reviewing. We appreciate all the love and support. Damon Couture, you know what it is. Summon up Summers. We'll talk soon.
Bye, guys.